Hi friends, and welcome back to our new series for the month of March. Three main areas for mobility. So this is week 2 and we're going to be looking at the hip joint. So when we're talking about the hips, again, hugely important that we enhance mobility at the hip joint and we increase range of motion at the hip joint. So obviously when we start out, we're foam rolling the hips and the glutes, and we're trying to really get into the crease of the hip and the glutes and make those tissues more pliable so that we can bring that hip joint through full range of motion. Now, when we're talking about the hips and enhancing mobility, there's two main areas that hip mobility can impact. So if we have a lack of hip mobility, or if we're not able to bring the hip through full ranges of motion, we could impact what's below the hip joint and what's above the hip joint. So what's below the hip joint is the knee joint. So again, if we have a lack of hip mobility, that could negatively impact how the knee joint functions and could cause pain. Also, at the same time, if we have a lack of hip mobility, that could impact our lumbar spine, our lower back, and cause pain. So hips are hugely important for athletic performance, for physical fitness, and then also for keeping any pain in the knees or lower back at bay. Okay? So the hips also have a lot of different joint actions that they're supposed to be able to perform. So flexion, extension, internal rotation, external rotation, and then abduction and adduction. All right, so hips 6, we talked about the ankles last week, 6 joint actions for the ankle as well. And so let's go ahead and take a look at a few hip mobility drills. They're going to look familiar because we do them all the time, but let's go ahead and take a look.